Hey, Dena here. I'm sort of taking a semi-break from videos for a while. I will be putting something out every month, even if it's just commentary, so I won't be disappearing or anything, just cutting back on the video editing to make time for other things for a while. I will hopefully be making a vlog in the near future that will go into what I've been up to and everything for anyone who cares about the details. But for now, just listen to me talk about another still gaming video I did. So this is the original version I made for YouTube, so it has that silly opening sequence I made with the intention of using it at the beginning of every still gaming video I did, since Lee was also working on a similar kind of opening at the time, but this is the only video I ever used it on. Plus, when we put it on Channel Awesome, I took it out. It just seemed kind of awkward that it was only used in one video. I think these are all games I was planning to cover on Still Gaming at some point, and then I ended up only ever doing one more Still Gaming episode. I think at the time I had no idea that I was ever going to go off and start doing my own show, and even if I did have that idea at the time, I honestly thought I was going to continue doing Still Gaming episodes. I don't know how much free time I thought I was going to have, but yeah, I really did not expect that I would ever stop doing Still Gaming guest reviews, but well, you just never know sometimes. I know it's kind of silly, but I feel the need to apologize for my hair in this video. It was a little bit shorter than it normally is, and I thought I'd do something different and curl it, and I'd never curled my hair when it was that length before, and I just messed it up. And it didn't turn out the way I thought it would, but I thought it looked okay. And then later on, after I took the pictures, I looked at the pictures and went, oh shit. But, yeah. Due to laziness or lack of time, I didn't bother redoing it. Oh, backing up a bit, I think I said I had closer to 20 Atari 2600 games. That's complete bullshit. I don't know why I gave that number. I guess I remembered. I know I didn't go through and count them all right before doing this video, but I guess I remembered counting and coming up with that number, but I actually did a video on YouTube, it's still on my channel, where I showed off my entire Atari 2600 collection, and I actually counted 59 eventually. So, yeah, I've still got just about all of my games. I'm sure a few were missing, but it's nowhere near as, like, dramatic as I made it sound there.
The first difficulty setting is
strong bad reference coming up. Since the first difficulty setting of this game is so quick and so simple, I just wanted to show it really quick, so yeah, got creative with it. Extreme adventure! Don't even ask me where I got the idea to do this, it just sort of came to me one day when I was at work. Kind of like another funny little thing that happens in this video. That's Roof Cottages! Oh, Strong Bad, where did you go? We miss you. Please come back.
Now this game seems really simple. And
yeah, you know a game has good programming when even I notice it, because I'm a very visually oriented person. I tend to think of games in terms of how they look, how they're presented. You know, I don't really think of the programming aspect that much. I'm just not a very techie-minded person. Then again, when the graphics aren't much to look at. Yeah, this is a little sequence I like to call lol bat. This bat just gives you so much crap in this game. It's almost hard to play it without imagining it having some kind of attitude or something. Yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with this bat. He makes life hell in a way, but he also makes the games a hell of a lot more interesting.
AI that was this interesting.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention it here, but in the instruction manual for this game, the dragons have names. I think, let's see, the green one is Grendel, I think, the yellow is Yorgel, and the red one is Rendel? I'm not sure if that's right, but I think it is. Oh wait, I think it was Rundle. Grendel, Rundle, Yorgel. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Here's some crazy maze action. Apparently it's a limitation of the Atari 2600 that the maze have to be mirrored.
I think symmetrical was the word I was looking for there. Like I said in, I think, my last commentary, I wasn't scripting my reviews back then, I was just saying whatever came to mind. Sometimes I would use an outline, but that was it.
Dot with an arrow. He needs a name. I'm gonna call him Starscream.
Oh yeah, the Starscream thing. That was, again, just a random idea that came to me while I was at work and I was doing something that was just sort of mindless, you know. My mind tends to wander sometimes when I'm doing work, and yeah, that just came to me. I think the way it worked was that I thought, you know, like, what if the little quote-unquote character you play as, who's just a little square, you know, what if he had a personality? How could I do something with that and make it funny? And just, it somehow just popped into my head, oh, I'll use a bunch of Starscream clips. So the little square is Starscream now, somehow. I don't know. It was a kind of a fun little reference to put in, though, because I love Transformers G1, and I'm a Starscream fangirl, okay? So it was just kind of neat to put that in there. In fact, I was going to do something similar with the Abadox episode of the Game Den I did like a couple years later, and for whatever reason I just never got around to doing anything like that.
And I really don't know of any other Atari 2600 game that did that.
There's a particular Starscream clip coming up where he said, this is my castle and it will soon be my world. When I posted this video on Channel Awesome, someone said, a Decepticon raider in King Arthur's court for the win.
This is my castle, as it will soon be my world.
I would not have expected anyone to get that reference, but yeah, it's an episode of Transformers where they went back in time and just, you know, Decepticons in Camelot. It doesn't get much better than that.
Right in the beginning of the Yellow Castle there.
I ended up sounding really tired with a lot of my, a lot of the commentary I did in this. I think I was doing a lot of the voiceover work like really late at night, and that was just not a good idea to do something like that when you're something of a beginner. Yeah, I sound bored again. Everything else about this video I think is a success, though. I think it's funny with like the Starscream references and the lol bat and the Trogdor thing, and I think it's pretty informative, especially later on in the video. But yeah, my voice, I don't sound very enthusiastic because I stupidly recorded it when I was tired, and I really should have gone back and done the voice work. If that happened today, I would go back and completely redo all the voice work, but at the time I just didn't do that.
And if you think
that and my hair.
Now, you should see it on my old, like, 10-inch
okay, so there's a neat effect coming up where I try to give the audience an idea of what it was like to play this game on the tiny little black and white TV I had when I was a kid. This was actually the first piece of this video I made, because I wanted it to look a certain way, and I had the idea, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this right now and get out of the way, and I probably spent way too much time on it, but yeah, I added scan lines, and there's like picture's kind of wiggly, yeah, because that's how it looked sometimes on old TVs. If I were to redo this, I would probably shrink it down a little bit so it's taking up less of the screen to get the idea of just how tiny the picture looked on that little screen. But yeah, I also refer to the chalice as a flask for some reason. I guess I must have had strong bad on the brain for obvious reasons. Yeah, you can't talk about adventure without talking about the Easter egg. That's pretty awesome. Okay, that was unnecessarily suggestive. I don't think I went into it in my video, but for whatever reason, Atari never wanted to credit their game developers, and Warren Robinette came along and made this game, and he's like, you know what, fuck you, I'm putting my name in this somewhere. So he basically hid it, and it's either the very first Easter egg, or at the very least, it's one of the very first Easter eggs in a game. Yeah, I don't know about that. Background music in Atari 2600 games isn't always a good idea. Oh yeah, some people on YouTube criticized me for, in passing, I refer to Legend of Zelda for the NES as an RPG, and I don't know, how is it not an RPG? I mean, you level up, you buy items, you know, you don't talk to people, but I think it was the closest thing to a RPG in video game form we had at the time. I just don't see the point in being picky about it, but whatever. Such is the internet. I ended this on one of my favorite Starscream quotes. I think he said it about 4 times throughout the series. It never stops being funny. Well, that's it. Hope you like that. See you next time.